Hello there. This is Sir France again, guys. And in this video, you are going to learn one of the conic sections, which is circle. Okay, so we will be learning circles in this video. Let's start. Okay, for the definition of terms, we have here three definitions. For circle, it is the locus of all points in the plane whose distances from a fixed point are the same. And it is also considered as a special kind of ellipse. Yes, circle is a special kind of ellipse. Ellipse will be discussed later on. Center, the fixed point HK denoted by capital letter C. And for the radius, it is the distance denoted by small letter r from the center to any point on the circle which is greater than 0. Okay, take note for this bolded sentence. If r is equal to 0 or r is less than 0, then it's not an equation. Okay, that's how simple it is. Take note for this sentence. By just looking the value of r, you can determine already that it is not an equation of a circle if r is equal to 0 or r is less than 0. Equation of a circle has its general form and its standard form. The general form of equation, we have ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equal to 0. So basically, this is the general form of equation of a circle. And for the standard form, we have quantity x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared, where an arbitrary point hk is the center of the circle and r is the radius. And we have here for the center, or when the center is at the origin 0, 0. So you can have the standard form also when its origin is at 0, 0. It's x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So friends, what happened to our h and k? There will be no more h and k because the value there is 0. So if you're going to include 0, x minus 0, so what remains will be the value of x, and then y minus k, and when it's in the origin, so which means 0, y minus 0, you will get y. So basically, if you're going to simplify that, it will now become to x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. Okay, let's try to have an example number 1. Write the standard equation of the circle with center negative 2, 3, and radius 5. Okay, I have here the solution, guys, below. Since hk is equal to, here in our given, we have negative 2, 3, and r is also 5. So we have, using this formula, which is the standard equation, substitute the given. Okay, so for negative 2, you're going to substitute that for h, and 3 substitute it to k. Below, you can see it here, x minus the negative 2 quantity squared plus y minus 3, which is your k, is equal to 5 squared because the value of r is 5. And the next step, or the next thing to do, simplify the equation. So in simplifying that one, so basically x minus negative 2 will turn into x plus 2 because negative times a negative, you are going to get a positive value. So out to be that turns out to become positive 2. So we have it here now. The quantity of x plus 2 squared plus the quantity of y minus 3 squared is equal to 25. That's our answer for the standard equation because we're only looking for the standard equation. So let's try another problem or another example. Find the center and radius given an equation. Quantity x plus 1 squared plus y squared is equal to 64. Okay, so for the solution, it's very simple. Since it's already in a standard equation, you can determine there your h and k. Okay, since the standard form of equation of circle is this equation below, which is quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity of y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Since our center at hk is a -1 and 0. -1 because the value of h there is 1, and then our k is 0. Yeah, exactly. Y 0, as you can see from the standard equation, it's already y squared, which means the value of our k is 0. That's how simple it is in analyzing this, in analyzing and situating the given standard equation, which means the radius is 8. Why? Because 64, remember, r squared, right? In the standard equation, it's r squared here. So basically, if you're going to find the square root of r, or the square root of 64, that is 8. Now we have example number 3. This is quite long. Write the equation of the circle 3x squared minus 6x plus 3y squared plus 4y minus 4 is equal to 0 in standard form and determine its center and radius. Yes, the given there is a general form, and then the first thing we're going to do is to convert it first into a standard equation. And how are we going to convert that? Yes, we will be applying some property of equality here and other algebraic methods. Let's start. Okay, let's start. Let's write first the general equation here. Yeah. And after that, by addition property of equality. So here we go. So we are going to do that by grouping the terms or group together terms with the same variables. So x's will be grouped together and then y's will be grouped together. So as you can see, it's already grouped here in my equation. So we have quantity 3x squared minus 6x plus 3y squared plus 4y is equal to 4. And after that, to perform the completing the square, factor out the leading coefficient of each group. Yes, it's very important to factor out the leading coefficient for you to perform the completing the square. Take note, completing the square follows the process of adding the third term. And by completing the square, here we go. Factoring out the 3, so since our leading coefficient for the x's here is 3, factor out 3, and then what remain will be x. What remain is the x squared, or the remaining expression will be x squared minus 2x. Why 2x? Because 6 divided by 3, or -6 divided by 3, that's -2. Plus, factor out also the leading coefficient here in your y, which is 3. So when you factor out 3, here we go. So 3 or 3y squared divided by 3, that's y squared. And then 4y divided by 3. So basically, that's 4 over y 3. Next, copy the 4 or the constant. No, that's a constant number here. And after that, we can now perform the completing the square. Sir Franz, why can't we perform it? Because our leading coefficient is already 1. So as you can see, when the leading coefficient is not 1, we cannot perform the completing the square in this given equation. Now let's try to complete the square. Negative, uh, so what is the third term? 1. Why? If you're asking, sir, why is there a 1 there? It's all because, so -2 divided by 2. Finding the third term will be b over 2 quantity squared. So what's the value of b? So that is -2. -2 divided by 2, that's -1. And then quantity squared. So you need to square the -1, which is equal to 1. Same goes with your y here. 4 over 3 divided by 2, and then quantity squared. So when you operate that one, you can use your calculator. So 4 over 3 divided by, let me use my calculator also so we can do it together. So when you do that, that's 4 over 3 divided by 2. So we have 2/3 and then square. So that is 4 over 9 for the third term. And as you can see, we added 1 and 4 over 9. Since this is an equation, if you are adding something from the left portion, you need to add that also to the right portion to make it equal. So we also add 3. Sir, why did we add 3? It's all because we need to take note that we have an expression or we have 3. We have a constant number 3 here. So when you complete the square or when you add here on the right part, so it's 3 times 1, 3, and then 3 times 4 over 9, that is 4 over 3. Okay. So sir, why did we not add plus 1 and plus 4 over 9 on the right part? Because that's what we added. Yeah, you got it right, but we have a leading coefficient outside the parentheses. So you need also to manipulate that. So you need to take care of that also. And you need to take in account. So that's 3 times 1, that's 3. And then 3 times 4 over 9, that's 4 over 3. You can try it out in your calculator to make sure if the answer is 4 over 3. Now that we have a perfect square trinomial, we can reduce that one. So here we go. 3 times the quantity of x minus 1 squared. Sir, how did you get the quantity of x minus 1 squared? By uh, find the root of x. So square root of x, we get x. Then square root of 1, that is 1. And for your operation in the middle, follow the operation of the middle term, which is negative. So copy. So that's x minus 1 quantity squared. And then same goes with our y. So bring down 3 and then quantity y plus 2 over 3. Why is it y plus 2 over 3, sir? Because finding the root of y or square root of y, that is y. And then square root of 4 over 9, that is 2 over 3. Since our middle terms operation, or yeah, it's positive 4 over 3, we follow the sign which is positive. That's positive also in the middle term. So that we have quantity y plus 2 over 3 squared. And then you perform the operation 4 plus 3 plus 4 over 3. Their LCD there is 3. So you bring down 3 and then operate it 4, or you can type also in your calculator that in your case 4 plus 3 plus 4 over 3, that is 25 over 3. And then by factoring, so we get, okay, we need, that's the factoring method. And then dividing both sides by 3. Sir, why do we need to divide both sides by 3? As you can see, we have a leading coefficient 3 and 3 to make your equation uh, more efficient. So it's like reducing that one since it can be simplified by dividing by 3. So by dividing both sides by 3, is there why both sides? Since this is an equation, both sides should be operated. So when you divide from the left side, you need to divide from the right side. So that's why I wrote it there, dividing both sides by 3. So when you divide it, so the leading coefficient 3 will be canceled out. Same goes with the leading coefficient of here in our y. Will be canceled out. And then 25 over 3 divided by 3. Need to operate that one, which is equal to 25 over 9. Sir, how did you get 25 over 9? So basically, that's 25 over 3 times 1 over 3. Yes, but you're going to perform the division of fractions. So 25 times 1, that's 25. 3 times 3, which is your denominator, that is 9. Now we have the standard form of our equation. Therefore, the standard form of equation of this circle is quantity x minus 1 squared plus the quantity of y plus 2 over 3 squared, which is equal to 25 over 9. And we need to find our center and radius. Okay, we can already find it from our standard equation. Since the standard form of equation is quantity x minus 1 squared plus the quantity of y plus 2 over 3 squared, which is equal to 25 over 9, since we have h and k here, therefore the center is 1 and negative 2 over 3. Sir, as you can see, it's negative 1 here. Why did you write 1? Yes, because it's already h. It's x minus h. So you can simply write 1. And then y minus k. Remember, it's y minus k for the standard equation. So you need to make 2 over 3 as a negative value. So you get negative 2 over 3. Now that's the center. Therefore, the center is 1 and negative 2 over 3. And for the radius, why did we get 5 over 3? By finding for 25 over 9, you need to square that one. So the square root of 25 over 9, square root of numerator is 5, and then the square root of denominator is 3. Therefore, the radius is 5 over 3, and that was for the answer. Now we have here an example of a problem. Okay, a Ferris wheel is elevated 1 meter above ground. When a car reaches the highest point on Ferris wheel, its altitude from the ground level is 31 meters. How far away from the center horizontally is the car when it is at an altitude of 25 meter? Okay, I write here, analyze carefully. Since this is a problem, you cannot proceed directly. Oh, this is how we do it. Analyze it first, okay? So I have here the complete solution. Since the Ferris wheel is elevated 1 meter above ground and its highest point from the ground is 31 meters, then its diameter is 30 meters and the radius is 15 meters. The center is at 0, 16. So we have here an illustration. The equation is, okay, x squared plus quantity y minus 16 squared is equal to 225. Sir, how did you get the equation? So basically, from our given, we have it there. The diameter is 30 meters, right? So sir, where is 30 meters? Why it is not in our equation? And the radius is 15. So basically 15, we can square 15, that's 225. 15 square is 225. And then the center there is 0 at 0, 16. Why is it 0? Okay, from our illustration, look at here. Altitude of elevated 1 meter. So we will start at 1 for our, so this is the ground. So I have here a graph. As you can see, if this is the ground, so we need to elevate 1 meter and then we start counting. So that's 1 until 16 because 15, because of the word 15 meters. Okay. So as you can see here from the given, when a car reaches the highest point on the Ferris wheel, its altitude from the ground level is 31 meters. How far away from the center horizontally is the car when it is at an altitude of 25 meters? So here we go. So 25 meters and then 31. So as you can see, 31, and then the car is here. I'm so sorry. So the car is here from 0 to 10. Okay, that's 0. So that is, uh, then its diameter is 30 meters. So when you're talking about diameter, that is on the circle reaches the other point on the circle. And the diameter will pass through the center. So basically, we can conclude that the radius there is 15. That's very easy. Now let's solve for the distance of the car from the center. Horizontally, when its altitude from the ground is 25 meters, the equation of the circle is x squared plus quantity y minus 16 squared is equal to 225. Substituting y, which is equal to 225, to the equation, we have x squared plus 20 plus the quantity of 25 minus 16 squared is equal to 225. And then you perform the operation, 25 minus 16, that's 9. So we have x squared plus 9 squared is equal to 225. And then x squared is equal to 225 minus 81, because 9 squared is 81, is equal to 144, because 225 minus 81, that's 144. Therefore, our x is equal to positive negative 12, or x is equal to 12. Why did we consider 12? Because when you are measuring a distance, we don't have a negative distance, right? We cannot say, okay, that distance from here to that point is negative 1. Distance should always be positive. So that's why we have x, which is equal to 12. Therefore, the distance of the car from the center is 12 meters when it is at an altitude of 25 meters. Okay, so I think we are clear about this one. If you have a question, sir, its altitude from the ground level is 31 meters. Why is the point at 30? Because we elevated here. No, it's 31. So we elevated 1 meter above, so we start at 1. So basically, that's from the ground level is 31, so the point should be at 30, because we need to include the ground level, which is 0. So that's how it is. And then, how far away horizontally is the car when it is at an altitude of 25 meters? So the car's altitude is 25 meters. Take note. The Ferris wheel is elevated 1 meter, so that's how it was performed in this graph. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And I hope you're going to study your lesson about circles. So this is only an example. You can still search additional examples from any web search, or you can search it from any web you want and try to answer it on your own. Okay, goodbye.